Hello, everybody. On behalf of Group 1, my name is Adrianna Tarin, and I'm going to go a little bit over our case study for this week about Chipotle. And on behalf of Alli, Neal, Tyler, and myself, I'll go ahead and start. Chipotle has become a big business that has turned sustainability as a business. Founder Steve Ells took a stance on industrialized farming, animal welfare, and the environment. He opted to build Chipotle's business using products sourced from sustainable farming practices and humane animal operations. It's been an uphill battle for Chipotle against food giants who had dominated food culture in the past while having a huge amount of money and resources. So for Chipotle, traditional advertising wasn't going to cut through all of this noise. So they came up with the campaign that we're going to talk about. The campaign goals revolved around driving customer loyalty and becoming a thought leader. Um, so Chipotle really brought fans together, fans of local and sustainable farming together, and shared their mission of being a sustainable food business. And it's really become a movement and has changed food culture in everywhere. Kind of just a couple of the things we talked about were some films, the anthem, cover of The Scientist by Willie Nelson, just different things that have kind of told the story that engages on emotional and experiential levels. A couple more were the live events, which was the Cultivate Festival that brought farmers, chefs, and bands together for a festival in Chicago. And then the multiple chapters, the additional short films such as Abandoned, The Scarecrow, and the Farmed and Dangerous TV series, as well as the Reward Evangelist, which was a loyalty program for learning more about Chipotle's mission. As a result of the campaign, the Back to Start campaign, um, the campaign showed that content-driven campaigns can tell stories and create experiences that people genuinely value, while simultaneously driving business results, which was what we learned from the case study. 23% increase in revenue during the first half of 2012 for Chipotle, and they even became America's favorite restaurant in this segment. So their target audience is includes millennials and those in urban and suburban areas. Um, for Chipotle, it's all about linking its name with the strong millennial values to eat better, eat local, and then have that reasonable pricing. We learned from the study that its strategy was to win over millennials by solidifying that reputation for freshness and offering a healthier fare than its competitors. And so, as far as its brand identity goes, Chipotle has really become a lifestyle brand. Within the larger trend of restaurant growth is an equally powerful sub-trend favoring fast casual restaurants. Chipotle is definitely one of these restaurants that hit the sweet spot for consumers, providing quality food, reasonable prices, a great atmosphere, and then quick service. This Their value proposition resonates with many consumers that are looking for a quick meal that is healthier than the fast food brands and less expensive than casual dining options. Its value proposition revolves around its functional, emotional, and self-expressive benefits versus its relative price. It comes with a lot of benefits, such as its functional benefits, which include the quality food for its reasonable price and the quick service. The emotional benefits, for instance, include it's more of a luxurious brand than, say, McDonald's, and that lifestyle brand definitely resonates with its customers. And then it even has self-expressive benefits such as self-image for customers. When someone is going to go to Chipotle, they feel like they have integrity, respect for animals and the environment, and even farmers. And so that has really resonated with customers according to its relative price. So Chipotle's brand position has always been to provide a fast, casual, sustainable dining experience to customers, which I kind of talked about. Since 1999, they have been working with family farms that raise healthy, antibiotic, and cage-free animals. The Cultivate a Better World campaign and Back to Start spot gave Chipotle the vehicle it needed to spread its message and educate consumers. They followed through in several different ways. They started the Cultivate Foundation, which allows Chipotle to support its farmers who provide antibiotic free meat and organic vegetables. They created the loyalty program called Farm Team. Farm Team is an interactive program that rewards customers for learning about sustainable practices. It's a loyalty program that promotes learning rather than just eating. The Cultivate Festival was first in Chicago and brought together local restaurants, craft brewers, and popular music all under the Chipotle name. This all day free event raised funds for familyfarms.org and allowed Chipotle to teach people about its sustainable practices. Chipotle has also produced several short films that feature its Cultivate a Better World campaign. The first video, Back to the Start, was a huge success and featured Willie Nelson covering Coldplay's The Scientist. This short film was aired during the 2012 Grammys. Chipotle produced another film called The Scarecrow, which depicts an individual becoming frustrated with genetically modified foods and starts his own natural food booth. The Cultivate campaign also allowed Chipotle to live up to its name of using only the best ingredients. Through this campaign, Chipotle was able to reach populations less influenced by traditional media, including people interested in sustainability who did not already know about Chipotle's mission. This campaign helped push Chipotle into the spotlight. Within months of Cultivate's launch, Chipotle became America's favorite restaurant in its segment. And so, as far as the execution goes, the case study details how well this campaign did for Chipotle in terms of sales and the brand, and they had a smaller budget than their competition. And in the next slide, we'll talk a little bit about the competition. But as far as impact, Chipotle became America's favorite restaurant, like I said, and definitely had an impact on its and resonated with different consumer bases. So as far as its customers, there is a real difference between fast food and fast casual. Um, in the fast food market, everyone knows about McDonald's, Taco Bell is big, Chick-fil-A, and Arby's. And on the fast casual side, which is, like I said, a little bit more luxurious, we can talk about Culver's, Panera, and Freddy's in this area. And there are a lot of similarities and differences. Um, as far as similarities go, both fast food and fast casual dining, like Chipotle, are very fast. They're made to order, so you can kind of just decide what you want and go from there. And then they have a similar laid back experience. Go in, stay or drive through, that sort of thing. But there are a lot of differences, which have definitely put fast casual dining above fast food. Chipotle purchases the majority of its food from sustainable farmers, doesn't really use traditional media, and wants to educate and have a conversation with customers. Chipotle's competition relied on highly processed, globally sourced foods and was backed by the biggest marketing budgets in the restaurant history or industry. Chipotle was beginning outspend by its competition at a ratio of 50 to 1 in 2011 and believed that sustainability was its competitive advantage. Chipotle used this advantage to educate their customers about their mission and practices. Chipotle isn't focused so much on selling food as it is changing how the fast food industry operates. Some fast food restaurants have followed suit with Chipotle in providing antibiotic free meat. For instance, McDonald's and Taco Bell have both fallen in line with Chipotle by ending the use of inhumane pig farming practices and including a cantina menu. Chipotle's goal is to take back the dialogue on food culture, changing that culture. We see this happening in the actions of their competitors. We also see that Chipotle has been consistent in its message and delivery over time, opting to forego traditional media for the most part in favor of digital, more interactive marketing. Founder and CEO Steve Ells considered food with integrity more of a philosophy than a campaign. He said, I would like to have advertisements telling people about food with integrity on television and plastered on billboards and in all the big magazines and national newspapers, but I don't think people want to hear it that way. That might be too preachy. This has kind of been their model of going forward. Chipotle is continuing to its Cultivate a Better World campaign, which launched in 2011. Um, Viral videos like Back to the Start and the Scarecrow illustrate the brand's desire to engage in conversation with customers rather than simply push a product via television. Each is consistent with its brand message, and all facets are decidedly more emotionally and personally engaging than traditional marketing tactics. We've seen that the Cultivate a Better World campaign has been very successful. We suggest continuing it while augmenting the campaign with an extension titled Cultivate Progress. This would focus on the improvements in food quality and sustainability since the original campaign was introduced. A stop motion video in the style of The Scarecrow or Back to the Start highlighting the advancements of Chipotle has made in food integrity and how it has changed the industry could breathe new life into the campaign. So kind of just using what they've already done and updating it into new terms. While very lightly applauding itself, the overall message must be that there's still work to be done and inviting people to join in. Customers could join the Cultivate Progress mission by unlocking rewards in the Farm Team loyalty program by signing designated petition aimed at ag institutions that treat animals inhumanely, putting pressure on producers who are non-sustainable. Content-driven media like the games and video games will reflect the same. Our overall ideas are to just update what they've already done to just kind of freshen up the campaign. So if you guys have any questions, please let us know in the discussion board. Right here are all of our references, and have a good day.